This is a difficult time of year. If you go outside, it looks like the world is dead, or maybe it's just gone to sleep, but it's kind of depressing. But we have this wonderful holiday season to look forward to, and the traditions that go with it. And they're very, very purposeful. Maybe we feel like we do a lot of these things in a sort of empty sense, that we're just kind of doing the same thing over and over, and we don't know why. And it's good for us to examine our Christmas traditions and to understand them. It's one of the reasons why we go back and we kind of study history. We try to figure out where those traditions started and what was the purpose of it, to help us connect ourselves to our family and to our community and to our entire region. And not just the people around us now, but the people that connect with us in the past, the generations that have come before us, the difficulties that they went through, the successes that they've had. And those Christmas traditions that we do are like little reenactments. Sometimes they're reenactments of something we did yesterday or last year or 10 years ago or 100 years ago. But they, again, help us cement us and help us sort of remember how we got through this time. But of course, Christmas traditions aren't just about that. There's this, the religious connections to it. And one of the reasons why Christmas traditions have changed throughout the years is because some people have seen that as the traditions build up, they cover up the religious significance of the year. And so we've had times when they've basically outlawed the concept of Christmas. They got rid of it entirely because it was covering up the religious significance. But that's sometimes like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We can't do that completely. So yeah, sometimes we need to reform our traditions so that we understand why we do certain things and what they mean to us, how they cement us together. But this is an amazing time of year for traditions. I think if we look back, we can see where the problems of getting rid of Christmas traditions caused a decay in society. And we can see some of that especially in the 19th century. So a lot of the Christmas traditions that we have now that are, kind of regional and bigger based are actually revivals of traditions, and those happened because of Charles Dickens writing A Christmas Carol. He writes A Christmas Carol in the middle of the 19th century when things didn't seem good. They've gone through the Industrial Revolution and factory work is happening, and there's a decay in family. And Charles Dickens writes that, and people really click on to the idea that maybe Christmas traditions and what was happening in the past was better for the family and better for society in general. And a lot of that is reclaimed at that time period. And Charles Dickens wasn't writing from a blank sheet. You can see a lot of the ideas that Dickens got in A Christmas Carol from writings that were earlier, another 20 or 25 years earlier, when Washington Irving wrote in his sketches some Christmas stories. And those are amazing stories about a Christmas at an old English manor. And again, remember that Washington Irving is writing with very kind of rose-tinted glasses. He says it right there that these are quintessentially Christmas, that these are ideas that maybe don't flow as much anymore. They're missing from the time period. And he wants, again, people to reclaim those ideas. And even the character in the stories was looking for traditions and connection within the community that was happening 150 years and 200 and 300 years earlier. So the 18th century, just before these were written, wasn't a perfect time for all these amazing Christmas traditions that we think they probably had. in some senses, it was probably, kind of less Christmassy than it should have been. And that's why we see this reaction here in the 19th century, the romanticism of it and all that goes along with it. Yes, not all of that is perfect, but certainly the need to bring communities together and families together is a really important part of reclaiming Christmas and the good parts of Christmas. Yes, it's gotten too commercialized. A lot. But that doesn't mean we need to discard all that because everything is bad. We need to reconnect and to reenact those best things and the best meanings behind what's going on at Christmas. Let us all dig back into those traditions. Do a little bit of reenacting of the very best of the best. And I hope you have a great year.